यहाँ से कूप मेल पे
Cedric Ghoshi, sir, is the Vice President Academics at Terbury Group of Schools. Sir is a guiding light in the path of success and a torch bearer when it comes to implementing 21st century skills and NEP 2020 in the school curriculum. Sir, we are highly delighted to have you here. I invite Sir to speak a few words on the spiritual reading.
Okay, this was unexpected. Uh, ठंड के मारे में पीछे बैठा हुआ था. So what's your name? Yahavi. Okay, nice name. यावी ने देख लिया और बोला कि सर इतने आसानी से तो आप बैठ नहीं पाएंगे, आपको आकर कुछ बोलना. So here I am. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you feeling? Fine, not cold. Not cold. So, obviously, with Sapananji over here, I am no one to talk anything remotely related to the spiritual retreat and the experience which you are getting today and will be getting for the next 3 more days, so in total 4 days of this spiritual retreat. I just want to tell you one small thing, a realization that obviously it's winter, okay? And if you have felt or you have quite regularly follow the news and something, for last few days, the air has been kind to us with some amount of rain. We are now in the moderate air quality, right? Otherwise, mostly we are in very poor or hazardous air quality, correct? Okay. And a recent report tells us that 13 out of 20 most populated, most polluted cities of the world are in are in India. Is that a record which we should be proud of? Absolutely not. Okay. So, so obviously pollution. Okay. Apart from that, pollution of air. Now, why I'm talking about air? So, air means pollution. We are signifying pollution, and it's outside. Pollution is also in our inside, right? How are how is pollution inside? We have jealousy inside. We dislike if others do better than us. We are always competing mindset. Not only competing mindset, but we want to pull down someone who's doing better than us. We hold anger within us. Okay. We don't let others flourish, and in the process, we compromise our own flourish as well. And again, if you follow the news around the world, apart from this climate change issue, which is not only plaguing India, but across the world, is one of the biggest problems across the world is climate inaction. Second is, think currently how many countries are at war. You are not aware of the number of countries which are at war? Plus, so we are actually we are not calling it a World War Three, but at least I personally don't understand if this is not World War Three, then what will be World War? Okay, and then all of you have gadgets infused with technology at home, in classroom, in school, everywhere that you go. We can't even think the world without technology, and obviously now with the advent of AI. Is it good, bad? It is just like a tool when humankind kind of uh, during the course of evolution, when they started to design a knife also, it was done with a good cause. But you know, knife can be used in several ways as well. Okay? At home you use knife in a good sense, in good cause. And I don't have to tell you that there are other ways of using knife as well. Okay. So similar to that, tools like technology and tools like artificial intelligence are also there. There's more amount of fake news, deep seek videos. You fall trap to so many cyber crimes. So these are the very different facets of so-called pollution all around us. So my only earnest request is that not only these 4 days of spiritual retreat where you will get a lot of realization and scope for reflection, just try not to have the pollution inside you all. Probably there is a limited control on the pollution outside, but whether your inside will be polluted or not, only one person has 100% control in it, and that's you. Okay, so please do give a thought on that, and all the best for the next 4 days. Wish you loads of wisdom, knowledge, and reflection with Sampatji and uh, Anjali ma'am, who will be coming the day after tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Now I invite Dr. Satyanarayana Mishra ji to continue this session.
So we'll begin with 1 minute silence.
So in the morning session, I explained you the word Veda, right? So anyone from any government here would like to give a summary of that, what we did in the morning session? If you remember, yes, please. Sit there and do. Very, very mind.
So we understood that the Veda has a root sound called Ved and it has different meanings, layers of meaning. And first one is to exist, which is Sat. Second is to be aware of, which is still. The third one is to gain, which is Anand. So we also understood what is Satchit Anand. And then we also talking about that Veda is not something that is written or which is spoken, but which could only be seen. And the people who see it are known as Rishi. Rishi is also has a root sound called Rich. And we also understood that there are mantras in the Vedas, not sure. And we also gotten about Dev Bhasha, which is the divine language, which is practical and logical because it has meaning why a certain thing is called a certain word.
Right. Anyone else would like from this side to say something about the first session, the learning? Sit and
Yes, the Veda is English and it has many mantras in it, which we could from which we could learn many good things and we should imply in our life.
so this session, there are a lot of things in this. Today is dedicated to the Veda. Today is dedicated to Maheshwari Jnana and various aspects of the Veda I will be sharing with you. Now, I'm going to tell you a story from the Veda. The story is very, very deep and highly simple. Once you hear the story, is very short. You know that the Rishi doesn't use a language which is unnecessarily elaborate. The more you become mature, the more you become realized, the more you gain experience, your language becomes very simple and short, precise, crisp. That's what happens. You don't need many words to express things. The story is like this. There's a whole group of rishis known as rishis. Which rishis? Angiras rishis. These words. Angiras. Again, this word Angiras has a deep connection with the Agni, Anga, Angara. Angara is that word. The root sound for Agni and Angiras is same. These Angiras rishis, they're fond of cows. They have cows and they're fond of cows. They nurture cows. They feed cows. They take care of cows. They are with the cows. Cows are their possessions. Whose possessions? Yes. Something happened on one day. All the Angiras rishis they found that cows are lost. They didn't see their cows. They didn't find their cows. What will happen? Suppose your possession, you are too much attached to something which is lost. You will be upset. Upset. Unless the rishis were panic. But they were not panicked when they were rishis. They were concerned. What happened to? So there is a whole lot of difference between being panicked or being upset and being concerned. Right? So they were concerned. What happened to our cows? Where are those? Who stole them? Right? Now there is no other way to find out where are the cows. So when you fail to find out any means to find out something, so what is your last option? What is the last option when if all your things fail? Give up? Hope to restart again. Hmm? Hope to restart again. Hope to restart it. So that means like okay, cows are lost, there is no other means. So let's have another set of cows. Okay. So this is one level of understanding. But the Rishi's way of is very different. They don't think in that. What was their way? That if we fail in our approach, that means what? There is some shortcoming, some limitation in our way of finding. That's why we fail. So the rishis grew more aware of their own limitations. They felt that our powers, our strength, our like ways is too limited. Maybe that's why we are failing. We're not fine. When that happens, when I realize that I don't have the strength to do it, then what is the last option? Not give up. Rishis will not give up. That's not the spirit of the rishi. So yes. Try that the shortcomings, cope up with the shortcomings and try another way. Okay. So the Rishi's approach is how to transcend these limitations, how to go beyond and overcome these limitations and gain more strength. Because the Rishi will not give up till the end. Who will give up? Yeah, I will then again tell you one beautiful verse, not from the Veda, but from some other text. So it says, it divides the whole humanity into three categories. Adhama, repeat the word, Madhyama, Uttama. The Adhama are the lowly people at the lower strength. What do they do? They don't take any initiative at all. कौन कीचड़ में जाएगा हाथ पैर धोएगा मैं जहां हूं वहां हूं ठीक हूं. They don't take any initiative. There's no enthusiasm. There is no initiative, no zeal to do anything. Whatever happens in life, they're happy. ठीक है मिला तो ठीक है नहीं मिला ठीक है. Okay. They don't take up any initiative in life. Those are the automatic. Little better than them is the Madhyama. They take initiative. Okay. But the moment obstacle comes, they give up. Who are the people who give up? The mediocre. The lowly ones, they are satisfied. Anyway, they will have it. They are not worried. Ignorance is bliss for them. Right? The mediocre one, so they begin, for the moment obstacle comes, they give up. Right? They take up another initiative. ना चलो शायद ये नहीं काम करेगा दूसरा ट्राई कर. But there is the highest category, the excellent one, Uttam. Okay. So the Uttam category, what do they? Once they have taken up any initiative, whatever the level of obstacle may be, even though they are beaten, even though they are battled back again and again, they will never give up until they have achieved the goal. The verse is like this. Vighna Bhayena Nite. Nature, the lowly one, doesn't begin anything, doesn't take any initiative out of the fear of obstacles. Vighna Bhayena. Prarabdha, okay. Um, Vighna Vihata. Vigamanti Madhya. Madhya, the mediocre ones, Prarabdha, they begin. Viramanti, they stop, they give up. Vighna Vihata, the moment they are, faced with any obstacle, they give up. Vighna पुनः पुनरपि प्रतिगम्यमाः. Again and again, beaten by the Vignas, the obstacles. Prarabdha, Uttama Guna, na Parityajanti. Those who are Uttama Guna, those who are high potential ones, high spirited ones, they will never give up. That was the message, that was the clarity from Swami Vivekananda when he said, what did he say? Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is achieved. That is the spirit of the Rishi. So Angiras Rishis, when they found that all their means failed, they wanted to transcend their limitations and shortcomings. So, what is the way to do that? To resort to higher forces. Okay, not the limited forces, the higher forces. Who are the higher forces? So, when we fail ordinarily, so we then go to a rishi or we go to the temple or we remember our Ishtadeva or call God. Right? So Angiras rishis, when they failed finding out their cows, they sat down, invoked Indra. Whom they invoked? Indra. How? They performed a yajna. In that yajna, they invoked Indra saying that Om Indraya Swaha. They invoked, let Indra come. And when Indra appeared before them, so they offered him so much drinks. Like when we're invited someone, we offer something. So they offered what was very, very, prominent during the Vedic time, the Soma Rasa. Physically, there is a particular plant, the extract of which, if you can consume and digest, it immortalizes your body. It gives immense strength. Um, So there are a lot of research which has happened on the Soma Lata, the Soma peoples. It has different meanings in it, which we will be discussing about it. Now Indra drinks the Soma Rasa. Now Indra invokes, Indra has a dog, female dog with it. The name of that dog is Sarama. What is the name? Sarama. Okay. Sarama is the name of that heavenly hound dog which Indra takes help. For example, like the police people, they have a dog, right? So they use the dog to find out things. It's not something new story, it is described in the Veda. That when you fail to find out something, use a dog to find out. Indra also used the dog Sarama. Okay, it's a female dog, Sarama, to find out the whereabouts of the cows. Right? Now, what have you heard so far? Angirasa Rishis, cows, then Indra, then Somarasa, then Sarama. Write them, have you written down all these words? Angirasa Rishis, okay, Angirasa Rishis, then you have cows, go, then you have Indra, then you have Somarasa, then you have, they perform what? They perform Yajna. Okay. Write down that word, Yajna. So Angirasa Rishi, go, Indra, Yajna, Somarasa, and then you have Sarama. Right? Now Sarama is released. Now Indra sends Sarama to find out the lost cows of Angirasa. Okay. Now Sarama goes and then finds the cows are hidden in a dark cave. Guha. Dark cave. In a dark cave, the cows are hidden. Who has stolen and hidden these cows? Someone must have taken. Right? Sarama discovers three dark forces, dark personalities, okay, dark figures who have stolen the cows and then kept them in a dark cave so that no one can see. And who are these three dark forces, dark figures? Pani, write down the one. Pani, 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 Pani. Pani is one name. Pani, okay, not Pani, Pani. Then the second one is the Siu. Second one is the Siu. Okay. So Pani, the Siu, and the third one is Vritra. Third one is Vritra. Pani, the Siu, DASYU, the Siu, and Vritra, 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 Vritra. So Pani, the Siu, and the Vritra. Now, Sarama comes back and informs Indra that Pani, the Siu, and the Vritra, they have stolen the cows and kept it in a dark cave. Okay. Then Indra drinks more Somarasa, becomes very powerful, and raises the Vajra. Vajra is the weapon of Indra. Right? So Vajra then kills Pani, Dasyu, and Rudra and releases the cow from the dark cave and returns it to the Angirasa rishis. Then they become very happy. They achieved their goal through whom? Through Indra. Right? So they didn't stop, they didn't give up. So this is the simple short story in the Veda. If anyone in the world wants to understand what is the content of the Veda, why Veda, how is it relevant to us or anyone, ages after ages, this story reveals the secret of the Veda. Okay, so now let's look at every word because here the whole story is simple. It's highly symbolic little story. Let's try to understand who are these in connection with human consciousness, in connection with our life's journey, the evolution of human consciousness, how it is going to help in the transformation of consciousness. This is what we are going to understand from this story.
Sir, what did the story tell? What was it trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to explain. So, what is this story saying, and why do we need to understand? So, this is the what is going to the whole session now, right? Now, Angirasa Rishi.
Sir, how did the dog tell that they were the three persons who stole the cows?
Where the dog knows, that is the dog's ability, that it knows exactly where and who. Okay, and who is this dog? We will understand now. Right?
But how did it tell?
It came and then informed. It has a language. The dog has a language. Okay. There is a communication model. So, for example, like when dog is where the police people are using a dog. Okay. So, looking at the dog's movement, its eyes, its barking or anything. So, there is a language which they will decode and understand. Okay. So, Indra could decode and understand the language of someone. No one else can understand. This is also simple. Okay. Now let's concentrate on each word. This is so please listen to it attentively so that you will understand it. Angirasa rishis are the rishis who have kept the flame of aspiration, the fire of aspiration intensely burning in their hearts. That means these are the aspiring souls. They are the aspirants because they want to achieve something. They are aspiring for transcending all limitations of consciousness. Because our human consciousness is very, very limited. But this limitation is because of many, many reasons. But consciousness in its reality is all expansive, all potential, all pervading, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. But the limitation is because of many other reasons for which we are responsible. Now, once you remove that, then you can see the real face of your own consciousness. Right? So, let me tell you another story to explain this. There was one sculptor. This sculptor, like what the sculptors do? What do they do? What do the sculptors do?
They create graphics. क्ले या फिर मिट्टी से वो किसी की शक्ल या कुछ
बनाते हैं ठीक है so sculptors sometimes they take huge stones or rocks huge pieces of rocks and they craft something out of it. Okay. In the initial phase when a sculptor is working with his hammer and the chisel, okay, no one will know what exactly he is going to create. Right? And one day you will find that such a fine, superb image he has crafted. Right? So one sculptor was chiseling a huge piece of rock. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. He went on and on and on and doing on a daily basis. But there was a person who was passing via that. He used to see, but he was little confused. So what is this person doing for 2, 3 months? He is chiseling. Nothing is seen, nothing is visible. Okay. So he went one day to the sculptor. Who? Who went? The man. He said that, listen, sculptor, I know that you are doing something. You are going to bring out something. You are creating some image, but nothing is visible. Can you tell me what exactly you are going to create? What image? So the sculptor said, I'm sorry, I am not creating any image. I am not creating any image. Who is saying this? The sculptor is saying that I am not creating any image. The image is very much there in the rock itself. What I am doing, I am just removing the unnecessary stuff which is hiding the image. You understand? He's saying in a different language, he's saying that I'm removing all the unnecessary stuff so that that image comes out. The same way, if we remove all our ignorance, all our limitations, shortcomings, which doesn't allow us, which do not allow us to see ourselves, once those unnecessary stuff is removed, then we see ourselves clearly, right? To see that, to do that, we need to make effort. And all those who make effort, all those who are willing to do it, whose willpower is strong to find out oneself, okay, to see oneself, those who carry within them this intense fire of aspiration, okay, intense flame of aspiration are called Angirasa Rishis. If anyone of you also carry that fire of aspiration or lit that fire of aspiration, keep it ablaze, you are also Angirasa Rishi. Then someone say, oh, he's a very high aspiring soul. You say or not? That he's a very high aspiring soul. His aspirations are very high, very intense. He wants to do something in life, wants to achieve something in life, right? So those aspiring souls are known as Angirasa Rishis, those who carry that Agni within themselves. Okay, so carrying the Agni, he carries Agni fire in the belly. Swami Vivekananda was a firebrand Swami. He's a fiery Swami. He spoke and then he will shake up the whole world. Okay, so that is the kind of fire that one needs to carry. And when you carry that fire, you are known as Angirasa Rishi. Next is cow. I told you, I gave you a little explanation. In the Vedas, in the Vedic text, cow means go. Go means so many things. Go is not just cow. If you translate go very rigidly as cow, you will find a lot of problem in the text, in many texts. For example, how many of you have heard about the name Tulsidas? Tulsidas. You have studied something. What is the most famous one that you all know about Tulsidas writing? What? Hanuman Chalisa, right? And Ramcharit Manas, right? And Tulsidas are that epithet. And when we say Mr. Doctor, what is the epithet of Tulsidas? No, Das. Tulsidas is the name. Okay, that's not epithet. Das is the surname. But before that, no, anyone Tulsidas epithet attribute or the initial. Huh? Who can say anyone in the room? Anyone in the room? Are you a Goswami Tulsidas? Okay, Goswami. They use the word Goswami. If your translation of Go is cow, how will you translate Goswami? Cow's husband. Was Tulsidas cow's husband? Huh? Okay. So Goswami, the word go in Sanskrit, in the Veda, has so many meanings. Go means speech. The words we speak is also called go. Go means light. Go means the earth. Go means all our indriya, the senses. So someone, Swami means who has control over, one who has mastered, one who has mastery over, right? So someone who has mastery over his own senses, his own speech, okay. One who carries light, possessor of light, okay, is called Goswami. He's not cow's husband. Okay, sorry, that translation will not work. Okay. So go. Now here, when you come, the Angirasa rishis, they were possessing go. It doesn't mean they were possessing cows and they were concerned about cows. They were the seekers of light, seekers of wisdom, seekers of Veda. Okay. And suddenly it happens that it happened to all seekers, all sadhakas. Suddenly one day we find everything seems down. Everything seems hopeless. These are the conditions. You say ordinary people will give up. Either they give up the task or they give up themselves. These are the two ways giving up. And this give up concept, who is teaching us? Again, coming from something, someone from the West. Not give up. Okay. There are so many stories, so many theories which the West has developed. How to give up? Why to give up? Right? Ours is not the tradition of giving up. Ours is the tradition of achieving the goal at any cost. Right? Not to give up. Not to give up. So now the Angirasa rishis, they found that the light is missing, the fire is missing, which they call that is their possession, their powers. Then they invoked the Indra. Who is Indra? Usually you will hear that Indra is the god of rain, god of thunder. Okay. That's a later story. That has another symbols. But in the Veda, Indra represents, Indra is the god of pure mind, perfect mind, divine mind, the mind free from all its limitations. That alone has the power to fight against any kind of dark forces once informed. Usually what happens, mind is wrongly informed by the senses. You see something, if the seeing is not accurate, mind is informed about it inaccurately. You feel something, if the feeling is not accurate, not pure, the mind is informed inaccurate. You listen something, if you have not heard it or listened to it perfectly, mind is informed inaccurate. Right? You taste something, if the taste is not accurate, mind is informed wrongly, inaccurate. So inaccurate information, when it is analyzed, interpreted, the result will be inaccurate. Okay. So how do you know that mind, what is the way of informing the mind accurately? What is that component in us which can inform the mind perfectly? So that the mind knows the truth and accurately where things are. So this is where Indra invokes or takes help of whose help Indra is taking? Sarama. Sarama. That will symbolizes what? Because Sarama will never misinform because it knows exactly the whereabout of the truth. What is that aspect in our consciousness is intuition. Intuition. Have you heard the word intuition? Okay. The intuitive truth there is in our consciousness. Okay. Apart, like we have our concentration power, we have our the power of reception, the power of thought, the power of reasoning, the power of imagination, the power of will. The same way we have the power of intuition. So when things come from the state of intuition, when mind is informed by the intuition, then it is informed about the truth. That is why Sarama comes, because it knows exactly where, who, how. But intuition cannot work out things. Doesn't have the power to fight against. Only mind has. That is why it comes and it informs Indra that no, Indra, here it is. This is the place where cows are hidden. Right? These are the people who have stolen. So now we know who are the Angirasa Rishis. Who are the Angirasa Rishis? Aspiring soul. The aspiring soul. Then who is Indra? The god of the god of perfect mind. Right? Who is Go? Cow? What is cow? Symbol of light, symbol of knowledge, symbol of okay. Senses also, but here in this context. Now Indra is invoked. Indra takes the help of Sarama. Who is Sarama? The power of intuition. The power of intuition. Okay. Now, when the Angirasa Rishis are invoking Indra, they are invoking through Yajna. Okay. What is Yajna? Now, that's the physical aspect of it. Okay. Physically, the material aspect of it, that you have some fire and then you offer something, chant some mantra. But inwardly, at a spiritual level, yajna means giving, surrender, self-giving. Unless and until you give yourself, open yourself up, look at a flower, look at a flower. If it doesn't open up, the flower opens to what? opens to sunlight. Right? Just imagine if the flower is not opening up. Will it have its colors? Will it have its fragrance? No. Will it have its, design and the vibrance? Nothing will do. So for having the vibrance, having the fragrance, having the color, okay, you need to open.
Sir, like you said, yajna means giving something. So, what is difference between yajna and sacrifice?
Sacrifice is a very different thing. In sacrifice, there is pain. In yajna, there is anand. Right? So that is why the translating the word yajna to sacrifice is also wrong translation. Yajna is full of anand. That is why in yajna, physically, they give soma rasa. What is soma rasa? Soma rasa means anand. Soma means delight. Okay. So if you find someone delightful, sober, you say Somya. Somya Rupa. Okay. It's a very delightful form. So Soma means delight. So when you are in Anand, the mind which is in Ananda, empowered by Ananda or engrossed in Ananda, filled with in Ananda, that mind can or is capable of receiving the message from the intuitive realm, realm of intuition. The truth will descend from the realm of intuition to that mind. If there is no Ananda, intuition, the message from intuition, the realm of intuition will not come. Okay, that is why the Angiras rishis are invoking Indra through yajna by offering themselves, by opening themselves to that force and offering them Anand. Okay. You invite some guest and then you sit with a sad face. What that guest will feel? Well, or if you're extremely happy, oh, my guest has come, that guest also will feel happy, energetic, right? So, in yajna, which is the power of invocation or the way of invoking the higher forces, that has to be done with joy, with happiness. So, yajna is all about self giving, giving with joy. All those who do not give, all those who do not give can never grow. That's why the Vedic foundation is the way of Rishi was to grow by giving. And all those who do not give become the food for devils. Right? So they invoked Indra by offering Somarasa, delightful souls. Then they made Indra more delightful, more powerful, and then Sarama comes to Indra's help, the power of intuition. Goes and then finds out the cows are hidden in the dark cave. Darkness always represents the subconscious or what do you call the inconscience, ajnanata, achetanata. Okay, it's dark. Nothing can be done. There is no light. It is glimmering there. Dark, dark, dark. As if darkness covered by darkness. So their aspirations, their light is falling. And then who does that in our consciousness? The three enemies. Who are the three enemies? I say Pani, Vitra, and Force. Okay. Now, Pani is that aspect of our consciousness. Pani, have you heard about Pana? Padam means coin, cash. Okay. Panya. So you say market. Market is called Vipana. Vipana. Okay. Panya means selling and buying. Transaction. Okay. The place of transaction. Okay. Vipana. A shop is called Apana. Okay. Shop is called Apana. Money is called Pana. And goods are called Panya Vastu. Okay. Panya. Goods. The goods which can be the transaction can take place. Okay. Those selling the marketable goods are called panya, right? Coming from pawn. So pawn is that transactional aspect in us, in our consciousness, which is there in our consciousness, which is a great enemy. So that creates more limitations and shortcomings and weakens our consciousness. Just imagine that every one of us will have that pawn. And when it is powerful, so for everything we do transact. What is there for me? Parents also do business with their own children, right? What kind of business? You have to secure 95%, above 90% like this. You have to do this. You have to do this. If not, this. If you do this, I'll give you this. All business going on a daily life. Okay. Look at everywhere this business, this transaction is going on. Always there is a if attached to everything that we do. If it happens, I'm happy. If it not happens, I'm not happy. We do transaction with them. We don't even hesitate to transact with God. You know that story, like that one man, he climbs to the tree. Climbing is easy, but climbing down is the most difficult thing, right? So he climbed the tree and then found, wow, where am I? Unable to climb down. He said, oh God, like, take me down, I'll give you 100 rupees. Right? Everyone going to temple is going business with God, transaction. Oh God, my child gets into IIT, I will give you this. I'll give you gold, I'll give you money, I'll feed 1,000 Brahmins. Like as if the God is our slave. When you do this for me, I'll do this for you. If you don't do, I'll change my God. It's okay, Balaji is not working. I'll go to Durga. She is not working. Saraswati, not this guru is not working. That guru. We keep changing the transaction. So now that man, he with all difficulty, he comes down half the way. He said, oh, I put so much of effort. I called God. What did God do for me? I'm not doing 100 rupees. I'll give 50. Then he comes down. He says, what did God do? Nothing. I'm not giving anything to transaction. So when this kind of thought comes, remember when we go on a taxi, we go to the vegetable market, how much per kilo? People take 30 rupees. Or if even if he doesn't compromise, okay, थोड़ा सा धनिया पत्ता दे दो, मिर्ची दे दो, something we want, we always do transaction. टैक्सी वाले के साथ नेगोशिएट करो, उसके साथ नेगोशिएट, everywhere negotiation, थोड़ा काम, थोड़ा इधर करो, तुम भी ये कर दो, मैं भी तुम्हारे लिए कर, है ना? Who is doing that? If that is happening, that is a folly. Always, forces us to transact, negotiate, put the if. Okay, and every day, every moment, we all experience this in our life. Happens or not happens? Happens. Whenever happens, remember, this is funny, more aggravated in us. Right? Fine. Now the next Satru is Dasyu. Das means to kill. Dasyus are those aspects in our consciousness, those who kill our spirit, weaken our willpower. Suddenly, you are very energetic. Morning, you go to the school with so much of enthusiasm and all these things. Something happens suddenly, and oh, I don't want to be happy with it. I want to kill myself. I don't think I will be able to do it. I don't know. Happens, not happens. You go to utter dejection, utter depression, frustrated, in a very deplorable condition. Who does that? That's you. No one else outside. It is you carry that enemy. Each one of us will carry that enemy within us. When it gets aggravated, oh God, we don't. That's remember. So money, that's you. Then the third enemy is so thus means to kill, that's you. Right? Vritra. Vritra means covering. Okay, our Vritras are those aspects in our consciousness. See how many times you must have said you have kept your specs here and you are scolding others that who has taken my specs. It was here only. Happens, not happen. Why it happens? Have you asked this question? Why it happens? The book is right in front of me, but I don't see it. I'm searching here and there. Right? And then we put the blame on others. I only spoke it, but now I don't remember whether I spoke. When someone points out, I said, you are telling lies. I didn't say this. But I have seen it, but now I don't remember it. Say it. Right? You know that it is not a problem with others. We carry the enemy within ourselves. The Buddha is aggravated. It hides things from us. Physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, at all levels, they keep hiding Buddha. And just remember, like one enemy is so powerful. When all the three enemies are together, what will be our condition? Darkness covered by darkness, dark cave. This is what happened to the Angular solution. Now, what is the way out? In the dark. Perfect your mind. So, if we keep perfecting our mind, receiving the messages from the realm of intuition, then Panis, Vritras, and Dasyu will be weakened. We will never fall into a condition, a situation where we have to find ourselves in utter dark, the cave of dark. Okay, so this is what is the legend of Angirasa Rishis and the lost cows. Highly symbolic story, and it is a story of every evolving being, every soul in evolution, every human being, every aspiring soul. This is a moment to moment story which is happening. The rishis of the past, while contemplating on this, while contemplating on themselves, while growing more and more aware of themselves, Swabodha, we have written here now. What is the theme of this? Swabodha. The rishis of the past, when they went very deep within themselves to understand themselves, they found that this is what is happening inside. There is Indra, there is Sarama, there is Pani, there is Vipra, there is Dasyu, there is Go, there is Soma, everything within us. Then they found out the means, Yajna, Soma, by which they can empower themselves. When something happens, they can manage, achieve the goal. So this is what is the content of the Veda. So that is why in the Veda, various deities, many gods and goddesses you will find. Who are these gods and goddesses? They are not forces outside. They are the forces part and parcel of our consciousness. Okay, active. Okay. So Saraswati takes care of our perfection. Mahalakshmi takes care of love, harmony, sympathy, empathy, compassion. Okay, equanimity. Kali takes care of our heroic strength, courage. So then we are never weaken. We never, get defeated. We don't have the fear of defeat. So any god, Agni, Indra, Vayu, Varuna, Mitra, every Vedic deity represents some aspect of our consciousness. And when we grow more and more conscious of ourselves and develop more power of self-giving, surrender, consecration, then these gods are pleased. In the sense, you allow every god to manifest within yourself. Okay, to become awake within yourself. That is how the ordinary life becomes a divine life. And to attain to this state of divine life is the very purpose of our life. The real purpose of our life. Okay. So now I will stop here. There are any questions or letters to that. Then we will take a small break and then go for the research. Yes. Sir, does this somasya, is this some kind of a drink? Soma rasa. From rest. Is this some sort of drink? That's what many people have found out. That there is some kind of soma creeper growing in the Himalayan region. Okay. So which has that kind of liberating, intoxicating component in it. So when you drink, you become more powerful and big. That's at the physical. So, but at mental, psychological, and spiritual level, it is the delight. So when you are delighted, a different kind of hormone secretions it has. It flows. Okay, that positive, hormone which flows. Also, Indra used to drink this to gain power. Gain power. So that means, like at a psychological level, the mind in a delightful state is more powerful, more silent. Right? Thank you. Yes. Vande Mataram, sir, my doubt is that this song does it can be found today? Can most of the people who are living in Himalayas, the sadhus and sanghas, they have confirmed that there is something like this. There is some research also carried out, but I myself have not seen. Okay. But there exists some kind of creeper, the extract of which can create some kind of delight intoxication. Sir, from the starting of the day, like we are learning about Vedas and their spiritual connection. So, what steps can we take to develop these kind of powers and to change our mind into like spiritual? So, this again is the subject matter of our next session, where we will do it practically and discuss about the deeper aspect and practical aspect of the vision of life. That how do we see it in our life and what should we do in our life to manifest witness. Yes. These days, kids get matured earlier than they used to get earlier. So, how can they still change and earn more knowledge about this divine power? Like this? So, how many children? Just imagine students of your age, how many are getting such an opportunity to sit and listen to this kind of stuff in their life? I myself, during my entire school life, college life, university life, I didn't get a chance of didn't participate in any school poetry where I could hear all this. Okay. So these are things, and there are various other ways how to do it. We definitely discuss in this focus. Okay. I get something from this side and okay.
So my question is that, like, the Ved Vyasa created the Veds, right, Vedas. So the same way, like, he got an intuition, I think, and like conveyed the message into divided the truths of the rishis into books and chapters. So the same way, the first story and introduction of the Vedas is the Angi Rasa Rishi story. So, like, it tells that the Indra was his dog Sarama. Like, when Sarama came to inform, he got the intuition of that Sarama is trying to tell something to Indra. Is this like referred to the same thing as Vesa got an intuition as the same?
Yeah. See, most of the times what happens, you hear that Vedas is sitting in meditation and then Brahma comes in his meditation and then informs it something. You find lots of stories like this. So the whole idea behind it is that when we become more contemplative, more silent, the mind is open to higher forces, higher light, higher truths. So what happens? We do receive some message. And if we know, if we are in a right condition, right state of our consciousness, every one of us will get that subtle message. We hear the inner voice, but we don't heed to it. We try to avoid that. Okay? So the rishis are in a state where they can see clearly the message and they have the power to execute, immediately execute it in life. Okay. So Vasudeva hears or Narada comes and then tells something that you have to do this, Brahma comes, someone comes, then you have to write like Valmiki. Then you have to write the story of Ramayana. He said, but how will I write? I don't know anything. Then Brahma said that you just start and then things will appear to you. Right? Then Valmiki sees the whole story of Ramayana, right, in his vision. So one way after another, chapter after chapter, so he goes on adding to it, as if someone is dictating to him in that inner silence. Okay, you know story Sri Aurobindo. He has a book called Life Divine. Somewhere in your library it should be there, like a very thick book. Right? What he says, he wrote the entire book. How the entire book was written. He said, I'm not written. He just put the pen on the paper. The message came directly from the higher realm, directly to the tip of the pen, and he just writing. It has not passed through his mind, through that. It's a direct message getting written, and he's just a scribe kind of thing. That's what he said. So this is also possible that things can happen. You know the story of Jayadeva. Have you heard name Jayadeva? Okay. So Jayadeva is a very famous poet. He has written the most beautiful poetry in Sanskrit about Radha and Krishna. It's called Geeta Govindam or Ashtapadi. Yeah? So Geeta Govindam, the most beautiful story of Radha and Krishna in poetic form if you want to see. So you'll find in Jayadeva. Okay. So Chandana Charjita Nila Kaleva Pita Vasana Valamali Kelita Lanman Kundala Mandita Mandala Vasmita. It's so beautiful. You know, it was Rana find all this music is the most beautiful rhythmic poetry describing the friendship and love between Radha and Krishna. So Jayadeva, so he used to write Gita Govinda, right? So what happened at one point of time, he feels that Krishna is asking Radha that Radha, place your feet on my head. He is forced to write. But Jayadeva refuses. These are not nice. But he's constantly, this message is coming to him that Krishna is approaching Rama, that Dehi Pada Pallava Mudaram. So give your generous feet and mind. Krishna is saying to him, to can any poet write like this? He is completely disturbed. So he gives it up. Then he goes to take baths. And then he immediately comes back. And then goes to that room and then tells his wife that please give me food at hotel. So his wife gives food and again he goes and then engages his food. Then after some times again he comes, I served me food, I have just come and taken my bath and then I came. He said, what? His wife Padmavati said, what? You went to take bath, you came back, you went to that room and then I served you food, you ate, you came back. He said, what are you saying? I came back. I didn't, I'm just coming just now. He said, no, no, don't tell me lie. Am I seeing dream or what? He said, okay, narrate what happened. He said, you came. You straight went to that room. I don't know what you did. Again, you came out of that room. And then you told me, I'm hungry, give me food. So I would say, my God, what happened? Let me go and check. He went and checked that line which he was hesitant of writing. It's now written. Thank you for the company of God. Padmavati was witness to it. It's no imagination, no fiction, no fancies here. It is I will. It is said. Then Jayadev was crying like anything. Padmavati, you saw him. He took food from you. I couldn't see him. And the line is written here. So then Krishna comes in the form of Jayadeva and writes his own story. Just imagine, child, this is what happens when we're talking about this. These are not hundreds of such stories. It happened to Gandhi, it happened to Vyasa, it happened to Vishal, it happened to Jayadeva. It keeps happening. That is what that we do receive the messages from higher realm. But if we are conscious, we can take note of it and execute it. But most of the times we are not conscious. That is why Swabodha, discovering the light within, is the most important thing. Okay, yeah. So he said that Indra means pure mind. Certainly gets angry when Krishna and his village take Govardhan instead of him. So why so? Because he was a pure mind. Now what happens? Ganga is pure. When it reaches Varanasi, when it reaches Ranchi, Patna, when it reaches Kolkata, what happens? The story of God. The same pure Ganga becomes impure. Okay. So the Vedic Indra and the Puranic Indra, is the mind is becoming one. This is one aspect. The other aspect, there are other symbolism involved in it, which we need to understand. Right? But Puranas also, the Puranic stories of many gods and goddesses, which appear in the Veda, they explain to us the same stories in a different way. But there are a lot of distortions, lot of other things also which have happened and which is a necessary demand of the yuga to explain that. That is why what is happening, when is it happening? It is happening in which yuga? Treta, Dwapara, Kali, in which yuga this story is happening? Indra is getting on. Okay, so now what happens? These all these yugas are also taking place in our consciousness. Okay. At what level of consciousness we are, there the role of Indra is different. A different story will take place. Right? But in the Veda is the pure truth.
One more thing. There, we say that no dark force can, defeat Indra. But he has been defeated by dark forces.
No dark force can defeat. That's true in the context of the Vedic. That's true in the throughout the Veda, wherever Indra appears, he appears in that universe. He's always the victorious. Indra is always the victorious in the Vedic music. But if you come to the Puranas and other places, it's a different story which is taken. Okay. And then this, yeah.
Not only one time that you told that Indra got angry. Like he didn't get angry the other time, but he tried to bluff Mahadev. So,
Yes, there's so many stories. He told lies, he cheated people. There's so many stories. Okay. That's how you see your own mind, what different kinds of role it takes place. Okay. You are in the midst of your friends, your mind is different. You are in temple, your mind is different. There's no ekarupada, right? In the mind. You see yourself. So that is how you find the stories also. But in its essential form, it is. That is what when we achieve, now all these stories will have no meaning. The only story which will have meaning is that divine, perfect. Yes.
सर जैसे हम ऋषि बोलते हैं और कुछ जैसे अपने आगे मुनि ऋषि लगाते हैं तो मुनि ऋषि और सिर्फ ऋषि में फर्क है
हाँ, फर्क है. So if you look at our tradition, there are two streams. There is a Rishi Dhara, there is a Muni Dhara. Okay. There is a inside out, then outside in. So the Rishi's approach is to move from within out. The Muni's approach is to go deep, right? So that is why Muni is more trying to analyze, contemplate, gathers information from outside, and then contemplates on it, analyzes it, scans it. The Rishi doesn't do that. The Rishi will flow from within and then give itself out. Right? So the Rishi Dhara and the Muni. The Muni Manana, because he contemplates, he deals with the fact, analyzes. Right? The Rishi Darshana, he sees, he moves, Rishi to move. Okay. So seeing is one aspect, moving, vibrant, elegantly, dynamically. Okay. So he becomes one with the movement of the universe. He knows the movement. He becomes one with the movement. Okay. So that is the Rishi's approach. So this is the difference between the Rishi and the Muni. Muni is more in gather. The Rishi is more outflow. Right? But he flows from within without losing the contact with the emotion. Okay.
Sir, as you mentioned before that UNESCO recognized the Vedas by what means they get to acknowledge about Vedas.
Yeah. Because there is no literary record. This is the research. The tremendous amount of research which happens. There's no literary record yet found which is earlier than the Veda. That is why UNESCO recognizes it as the greatest heritage and the earliest record of the literature. All right, so we will take a break. 1 minute silence. Then we take a break. Then afterwards we will sit down and then go still little more deep to explore the secret of the world. Oh. So now it is 3:30. So we gather here at 3:45. John Reed, right after his study, right, speaking, teaching, learning, multiple clinical and anything that you do. Because really is right. Everything else. Right attitude is right. Everything is right. And trying to do more of what to do all supposed to do. Possible. Because Dominic is done right now. Suppose you would ask me, because Dominic is right and he could remove the interest of the room. Who is the very special? One day I remember that person's room. It was amazing just to read it. The way the clothes are put, the way the books are put, the way the conversation is put. My God, it's amazing. This is a different hobby. That is someone who put that kind of effort. So if someone has that life attitude, then they will be. But we feel that meditation is more devotion, extra time, sitting in particular posture, you know, see the way business are. You know, see life that is a human nature. Simply not the position is very high. It is not the planning is very high. It is not that environment is very something else. I think that's very that's why there is technique, there is rules, there is routine, guidance from our side is needed. This is don't be on this place. Don't force yourself to move. Being the nature would be fun. Nature will be the nature. Just enjoy it. Enjoy everything that is there. Observe. Observe. You know, say everybody is that one for that one. As long as there is the time we will remember that we don't have answers for it. We are there for that. How to live it. How to live it. How to live it. How to live it. And how to do it. So we used to do that in the day. We used to open their eyes. Small activities in other things. Once I would I work with people. I would do the intelligence, technical, starvation, and work with. So that's important is sometimes we do not have story to us. You know what? And people in the society, the classroom is talking story. The classroom and places are. It means books study, book question, books twenty times. If somebody is asking question, I'm not the right activity, it is not what I'm going to do. Don't ask. But so many things will happen. What do people do? Some people usually to answer the any situation. Someone is not doing it. They're not getting to place. Students taught me how to be patient, how to study, how to be understanding, how to expressive, clear, articulate, organized, how to organize your thoughts so that it's clear, clear thought, nobody gets structured. So it helps. And this is something, this is something think on this. Otherwise, there's no resources. And the oh, that's about 8 minutes. Because
क्या क्या है कुछ पड़ा है तो नहीं है कि रुकती एक एक बार बोल लगा अरे आपको मेरे से पैसे में बड़ी देखी होगी हाँ मेरी अरे बस मौका से क्या करेगा जाके अरे ऊपर जाते हैं ना घड़ी तो लेके आएंगे फिर कमर सीधी कर कर आएंगे चल मेरी घड़ी यार अरे कोई बात नहीं और भी वीडियो अच्छा जब मेरी कोई चीज होती है तब भी तो ऐसे ही लगता है ठीक है ना है जब किसी कोई चीज गिराई जाती है तब तू तो फोन पे जाता है अरे देखो और अब ध्यान डाले और मत कर रहे हो